Hey guys, my name is Tyler Bendel. I'm coming at you guys with a first place OTS deck profile. I won my local OTS this past weekend. I actually played in two. Didn't do so well in the first one. I bubbled out at ninth, and the second one I ended up winning. Went X01 in Swiss and won out. So I will show you the deck. Huge shout outs to Team Inspire for having me on the channel and all the love and support they've given us. Um, Huge shout out to my boy Darren. I love and miss you. Big shout out to my YCS Vegas team, Zero Mortals Plan. All three of us won an OTS this past weekend for our locals. Our locals has three different stores, and we all won at each different store. We all won at one of the mats, so that felt cool. But yeah, I played what's dubbed as War Crime Labyrinth. Thank you, John Wilkin, for giving me the name and a bit of a skeleton to go off of and make adjustments to. So start off with 3 Ariana, 3 Lady, 1 Lovely. I didn't like playing just these 4 because I like this going first. It just feels good. Having that little bit more gas than needed. It just feels good. I side them out going second every time. All 3 come out. I don't want to see them. 3 ladies. It felt insane. It's basically what makes the deck go around. It's so weird playing 3 because I played furniture for so long that this card was awful and I only played one of it. The mandatory best card brick in the deck. I didn't play Arius. Arius felt awful to me. Yes, being able to resolve a trap card turn 0 is good, but that trap card could have, how strong all the trap cards that you're playing are, if you would just set it and waited till their turn anyway to resolve it, it's going to resolve anyway, and sometimes even for more value than when you had set it with Arius, and you just didn't play into talents that whole time too. So that's cool. So that's why I didn't play Arius. Loved the monster count. I wouldn't change anything about it, honestly. I'd probably play the same ratio. Just the 3 spells were just 3 Flash and Fire. The whole concept of Hugin protection is nice, and the whole mind game with Activate Trap Trick while this is set, they don't respect this card anymore, and then boom, Flashing Fire. Neither of those situations actually came up, but I like it's good in theory, and I'd still would play it. Just even like game 1 having something to stop Lightning Storm and Feather Duster that Tenpai is probably playing is good. Onto the 30 trap cards in this deck. This is just a pile of traps. 3 Welcome, 3 Big Come, 3 Trap Trick, 3 Karma Cannon. This used to be my favorite card in the entire deck because resolving this is honestly felt like cheating. And then they printed this card, and then it actually felt like cheating resolving this. If you've ever, if you know what it's like to chew 5 gum, that's what it's like resolving this card. It's insane. Every time you resolve this card, you win. Round 2, I played against a good friend of mine named Ivan. And the second I resolved this card, I saw the life leave his eyes, and I felt so bad. In the finals, the second this resolved against White Forest Runick, he instantly scooped, and I 2-0'd him. I had lost 20 cards from my deck from Runick cards game 2, and he had, I think, 5 cards on board, 6 or 7 in hand to my 5 total cards between my hand and board. And the second this became live, he went from all of that advantage to having 4 cards in his hand, and that's it. This just swings the game in your favor so much. I played against Cashier Snake Eyes 1 round because he didn't have Fiendsmith cards, and this combined with IDP, I had banished all of his Snake Eye level 1s and his Flame Burges. And it's just insane. This card overperformed this past weekend too. I was only playing 2 on Saturday, and then I bumped it up to 3 on Sunday. Thank you, Ray, for giving me the third. I honestly played two on Saturday because I didn't have a third, and I used to hate this card. I actually had a love-hate relationship with it. Actually, not even a love-hate. I hated this card. Um, Back when you played Furniture Lab and you had like 2 to 3 trap cards you could play. Usually one was Karma Cannon, and one was something else. I don't know. And people would pick this, and I just hated it and never resolved it, and it never felt good. And then every time I activated this card, it felt insane. So wouldn't change anything about these. I'd um, probably just keep these all the same. On to the two ofs, two punishment. I wasn't playing this on Saturday. These were Tears of the Overroot. Um, Mainly because I love Tears of the Overroot, and I love just being able to take a power card when they're using it and then send it to the graveyard and set a card they don't want. But um, it did every time I drew a trap card, I wanted it to have the ability to do more than one thing. And while Tears of the Overroot can do technically take care of technically two things, like if they go activating graveyard and graveyard and you chain Tears of the Overroot, set it and send something on the field. Yes, that's good, but this guarantees that you're always getting two cards because you're sending Natis with it. Um, so that's why I liked them over it. And then two Torrential. This card was great all weekend. I wouldn't play three because even though people have this concept that going second with Labrynth is bad, uh, it's not. You honestly setting any one of these cards that I've shown so far. If I set 5 cards, they're going to resolve for infinite value on my opponent's turn that I don't have to wait for them to give me. It's already there for me to take. So honestly, that's why it feels better sometimes going second with this deck, because the you have to know when to get the absolute most value out of your trap cards. Like, you can't just willy-nilly flip an IDP or willy-nilly flip a Karma Cannon or an Equation Cannon. You need to get the most value out of your cards and make sure your opponent loses everything or most of things. And if you go second, you can set all of these power cards into their full board, and you don't have to really wait too long to get the value out of it, because everything that you're waiting for to get rid of is almost already there for you to take. This is the only card that you just can't instantly shotgun or use when you choose to going second, and that's why I only played two. I would still play it. I wouldn't change it to three, but that's why you would only play two. 3 Solemn Strike. This is to stop the one Ash Blossom that you care about, because we're in a format with people playing 44 to 46 cards and 8, 15, 18, 20 some hand traps, right? You can go first, you can go second. Let's say you went first, right? Your opponent looks at their hand, they're like, oh, I've got Snake Eye Ash, Bonfire, 3 hand traps. And they then see that their opponent, you, have just set 5 cards and passed your turn. And then they think to themselves, I have this Snake Eye Ash, this Bonfire, a card that's coming off the top, and 3 useless cards because none of them do anything to set 5 pass. The only one you care about is the Ash Blossom. And in a 44 to 46 card deck, if I only care about the one hand trap that you have, that's fine by me. And it usually won't hurt too much because you have this many welcome trap cards. Hold on, let me rephrase that. You have theoretically this many welcome trap cards. Wait, there's more. You have this many welcome trap cards. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. You have 15 welcome trap cards. In almost every deck that you see, having 15 of quote-unquote gas engine cards that you want to see, you will see and you don't care about the one to two, the one hand trap that they'll get value out of. If, like, yes, the Ariana will sometimes get hit with an imperm or a Veiler, and that's okay a lot of the times because in my mind, I found out more of what their hand was. Like if I normal summon this and they impermed it, yeah, it sucked that I didn't get my advantage, but I also got the mental advantage of knowing more about their hand and that they have one less card. Because if I'm summoning this and setting 4 cards, I'm still fine. And if I opened any one of these cards, this is having this on the board means nothing to me. I'm cool with it. And the Solemn Strike being there to get the one hand trap you care about. I striked, I think, 5 Ash Blossoms, and it won every time. Let's see. Moving on to the floodgates that you have to play. Ban this card. Just ban it. It's insane. I don't even think you should put it at 1, because White Forest is a deck now, and the fact that they can just activate this, turn it off literally whenever they want on your turn when they're interacting with you. They can turn it off when they want and then add it back to their hand is absurd. Me flipping this and then having Blue Eyes White Dragon in a sense with Lady Lab on the board just beating you over and over again isn't fair. This card is stupid. Please ban it. Other bannable card. This was there was Gozen match in the main on Saturday, and then I just took it out and put it in the side because this ended up feeling a lot better. It's much better going first against Snake Eyes, obviously, because normal summon Ash, reveal Poplar, you flip this, they can't do shit anyway. But if you opened Gozen match going first, it doesn't really feel like it does anything. But if you open this going second against Snake Eyes, it feels awful, and then Gozen match feels good. So I just wanted the going first card in my main deck first. I kind of went with like a bit of a quote-unquote greedier going first build with having the 3 Arianas and this in the deck. So, I was okay with it. This overperformed on Saturday and performed pretty well on Sunday. I wasn't too bad about it. I'd probably still play that same ratio. But that's it for the main deck. 40 cards clean. The extra deck is just irrelevant for the most part. There's only a few cards that matter. The Hugin for protection, the Munin for time, the Entis for dogmatic punishment, and then everything else, Freki's there just because it's a runic card, but also meets the math for equation cannon. And then we have your equation cannon targets. These aren't optimized to be the most attack for dogmatic punishment, mainly because I just didn't own the cards. So I literally just grabbed rank 3s, like Break Sword, XYZ Armor Torpedo. They're just the highest attack ones I physically owned. And I didn't feel like going to order an Acid Golem on TCG Player when this was good enough. Gallant Granite and Baguska, this should have been Dweller. Like, it just should have been Dweller. But I actually made Baguska. I made Baguska like twice and then bounced it back with Big Welcome. It felt great. I think it won me a game, but it's just what I had laying around. Durandal and Fortress for the 5s. This should have been like some 4,000 attack B thing. I don't know. Wave King and Wallow. Again, you're never making them. Big Eye and Dracosac. They physically could never be made again either. They're just there for the equation cannon targets. I didn't play the Typhon that I wish I could have played, or Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel you just can't make, obviously, anymore. Or the Muckraker. I didn't play those. I did miss Typhon, but I was very happy that I had these cards in there. There was some lists I saw they were playing rank 2s, so they can hit like lower numbers. But if the card advantage between both of players is that low already, I should already be winning the game. So I wanted higher skill numbers to hit decks like the U-Bell. All in all, I wouldn't. The only thing I change about that extra deck is the fact that they're not optimized properly for the most attack. Side deck, 3 shifter. This card's insane and probably should be banned too. Every time I saw this in my opening hand, I won that game. And every time I settled it in outside of top cut, I saw it in my opening hand. 3 sphere mode. This I only sphere moded I think one person. People were actually actively playing around it. I guess they just assumed this deck would play sphere mode on the side. It underperformed. People would play into Lava Golem more, but all in all, I probably would still play this card because on the Fiendsmith Snake Eye board, this will always resolve, I believe, and Lava Golem won't feel as good, and this is also just doesn't have attack. So yeah, I wish I could say it performed better, but it didn't. The one lab for the mirror match. I honestly thought about not playing this and playing Labrynth Setup, the quick play spell that returns cards to your banished and your welcome trap cards that are banished and in the grave, and setting 2 new ones if you have a fiend monster. I highly considered playing that because having to trap trick out with big welcome does kind of hurt when you basically get rid of 2 big welcomes right away just to kind of play the game. And I would want, and in a grind game, I kind of wanted the Labrynth setup, but I was okay not having it. 2 Eradicator in case you wanted to get freaky against some Runick players and let them learn their lesson. 2 D-Barrier. I was told there was going to be a lot of branded on Saturday. Didn't play against any of them, but I played against Ritual Beast on Sunday, and this overperformed, obviously. It was my one draw, though. My one draw was against the Ritual Beast deck. It's just a weird matchup. All of my power trap cards felt like awful against them. 1 goes in match and the 3 judgment. Obvious. These cards are obvious. Side deck felt for the most part pretty clean. Outside of probably wanting to test the lab setup again, and maybe considering putting these as something else. I don't know what I would have wanted them to be though, because theoretically that should have been insane and it just didn't feel good. Again, big shout out to Team Inspire for having me on. With that, this is Tyler signing out. Thank you guys so much.